question. It's not a debate. It's not a hot take. Sophie Cunningham has clearly surpassed anybody who you might think is the second biggest star in the WNBA. If you thought it was Paige, not anymore. If you thought it was Asia, get real. If you thought it was Angel, once upon a time, nobody in the WNBA is a bigger star than Sophie Cunningham. Nobody. Dominating the headlines, causing a reaction out of fans.
Sophie Cunningham took off her game-worn shoes and handed them to an emotional young fan while boos still echoed through the arena. Caitlin Clark watched in surprise as the heartfelt exchange unfolded. It became far more than a simple gift, transforming a tense atmosphere into an unforgettable moment of compassion. Within seconds, the crowd's mood shifted, leaving a lasting impression on the Indiana Fever and everyone who witnessed it.
If you thought it was Asia, get real. If you thought it was Angel, once upon a time, nobody in the WNBA is a bigger star than Sophie Cunningham. Nobody. Dominating the headlines, causing a reaction out of fans, positively and negatively, getting booed, showing up on the biggest stage in the belly of the beast while getting booed and still managing to perform, saying things that players in this league won't dare say because they're fearful of the consequences.
Portland was expected to be one of the toughest environments, with every Fever possession met by loud boos from the crowd. Instead of backing down, Sophie Cunningham embraced the pressure with unwavering confidence. She carried herself as though she knew the night would become something far greater than basketball. While the fans focused on rattling her, Sophie stayed composed, looking beyond the noise and toward an opportunity to create a meaningful moment for someone in the stands.
Things that players in this league won't dare say because they're fearful of the consequences, the repercussions, fear to get canceled maybe. Sophie Cunningham's going to come out and say it. Sophie Cunningham over this last month has really hit a new level. A new level of stardom. Caitlin Clark's the biggest star right now in the WNBA. And right behind her is Sophie Cunningham. And what she did last night, going into the belly of the beast, getting booed, not letting it affect.
As the game began, the atmosphere quickly became hostile, with loud boos and constant distractions aimed at the Fever. Sophie Cunningham entered the action and was immediately met by relentless noise from every corner of the arena. Rather than letting the pressure overwhelm her, she embraced it with remarkable composure. Every negative reaction only strengthened her determination, allowing her to stay locked in,
surpassing Paige Beckers as having the second most followers on Instagram. Paige Beckers had 3.1. Sophie Cunningham, in less posts, 3.2 million followers. Sophie Cunningham's stardom continues to ascend. And I'll say this right now. When this Indiana Fever team gets to the playoffs, when she performs in the playoffs and she hits a big shot in this game, a big shot in that game,
the night became about more than basketball as emotions and controversy surrounded the game. Many viewed Sophie Cunningham as someone willing to speak openly when others chose to stay silent. That reputation made her a target throughout the contest, drawing constant criticism from the crowd. Yet she never backed away from the pressure. As the game unfolded, the hostility gradually shifted.
Folks, we should have known that Sophie Cunningham was in for a heater last night. As soon as she comes out wearing the Big Bird pants. We should have known once we see her coming out wearing the Big Bird pants. Oh, there's something wrong with this lady. Once she comes out wearing the Big Bird pants. Oh, there's something wrong with this lady. Sophie Cunningham shows up to Portland. Loads of support outside. Loads of support outside the arena. But as soon as she checks into the game, she steps into the belly of the beast.
and lets the crowd hear about it.
The Fever are so dangerous. Spot to make that one, and another sweet spot. Sophie Cunningham from 3. You gotta be all
cold-blooded Sophie Cunningham. And then she gets to the free throw line, gets booed again. Sinks the free throw, but then comes back and does this.
Each trip to the free throw line brought even louder boos, but Sophie Cunningham stayed calm and unfazed. She calmly converted her shots, forced key turnovers, and attacked the basket with confidence throughout the game. Her performance matched the attention she had been receiving off the court, showing she could deliver when it mattered most.
Here we go. We got Sophie Cunningham taking a picture of the three of them. Sophie Cunningham taking a selfie. But I think the craziest part of this is, not literally the craziest part of this, but this mom's reaction of like, damn. I mean, I understand being emotional, but crying over this, I mean, hey, she appreciates the message. She appreciates what Sophie Cunningham's doing. And she has a daughter, so I'm sure she appreciates it even more. Yeah, so Sophie Cunningham, she is a star. There's no doubt about it at all. Sophie Cunningham
Caitlin Clark watched from the sidelines as Sophie Cunningham captured the emotional momentum of the game with her fearless approach. For months, much of the spotlight had rested on Caitlin's shoulders, but Sophie's performance showed the team had another powerful presence ready to embrace the pressure. Her confidence and unique personality allowed her to build her own identity, proving the Fever's growing influence extends far beyond just one player.
Stephanie White shrunk like mini-me when pressed about it. Shrunk in the moment. Honey, I shrunk the kids. Stephanie White folded under pressure when she was getting asked about this. Sophie hits it with the, I said what I said. But I got to give the Indiana Fever social media team, and I guess the Indiana Fever in general, credit for actually posting this. I'm not saying, oh, you know, we could get a certain reaction. Oh, you know, there are certain fans that we could face some backlash from a certain part of the fan base from this. Oh, you know, do we really want to, you know, jump in this right now? Oh man, I don't.
After the final buzzer, Sophie Cunningham created the night's most memorable moment. As players headed toward the tunnel, she noticed a young Fever fan in the front row wearing a Caitlin Clark number 22 jersey. The little girl had been cheering throughout the game, and Sophie walked over, removed her game-worn shoes, and handed them to her. The unexpected gesture left the child stunned, while her mother became emotional as a heartfelt exchange unfolded. Cameras captured the entire scene, and the clip quickly spread across social media, touching basketball fans everywhere. The moment felt genuine because it wasn't part of a planned promotion or publicity event. It was simply a player connecting with a supporter in a way that created a lifelong memory. Even Caitlin Clark appeared impressed as she watched the interaction unfold, highlighting the growing bond within the Indiana Fever. The exchange reminded fans that the team's appeal extends beyond one superstar and is built on meaningful relationships with supporters. Sophie stayed to take photos of the family, smiling despite the intense atmosphere she had faced throughout the game. Her kindness shifted the focus away from the boos and controversy, replacing them with appreciation and respect. The emotional response from the family showed how powerful simple acts of generosity can be. By combining fierce competitiveness on the court with genuine compassion afterward, Sophie demonstrated why she continues to earn admiration from fans across the basketball world. The dynamics surrounding the Indiana Fever appear to be changing as Sophie Cunningham continues to gain attention. While some members of the organization may have felt pressure from the controversy surrounding her, the team's social media presence chose a different approach. Instead of avoiding the moment, they highlighted Sophie's interaction with the young fan and shared it with the world. The decision showed that the Fever were willing to support their players and recognize moments that truly connected with fans. Rather than playing it safe, the organization embraced the emotional impact of the moment. By showcasing the reaction from a young girl and her mother, they sent a message that their players' influence reaches far beyond the basketball court. Sophie's growing popularity has been built naturally through her performances, confidence, and personality, Without relying heavily on traditional media attention, as the Fever move closer to playoffs, the spotlight on Sophie continues to grow. She has already shown she can handle pressure in difficult environments, and bigger moments could further elevate her reputation. Her partnership with Caitlin Clark is creating a powerful combination that attracts attention both on the court and among fans. Criticism may continue to follow Sophie, but she has embraced her identity and remains focused on being authentic. The shoe giveaway was about more than a simple gesture. It showed that every fan matters. Sophie proved there is room for multiple stars in Indiana, and supporting one player does not take away from another, whether she is making big plays or creating unforgettable fan moments. Sophie Cunningham continues to establish herself as one of the league's most impactful personalities.